Good evening, everyone. Um, it's Brother Brandon coming to you live from Fort Smith, Arkansas, with another update for you tonight. Um, another update, as long as some other things I need, I need to talk about tonight. Um, some of you might be wondering, why are you on here? Aren't you supposed to be working and stuff? Yeah, I got a couple days off today and tomorrow. I'll be getting to that here momentarily. Um, so, since my last update, um, I am pleased to announce that I not only crossed the not only did I cross the $2,000, or actually not $2,000, the thousand left mark, which means that I was aiming to hit a thousand left to my debt, but the fact, but um, I'm not very comprehensive today, so just bear with me. Not either, not either, not it's not either, but my goal was to be at the $1,000 mark to where I would only have $1,000 left, and so since my last update, I am actually really happy to announce that I have only $897 left to go. I only have $897 left to go. Now, depending on how things play out and all that stuff, I am looking, Lord willing, I am looking to being able to have just a little over $400 to go by Friday. And so, as you know, I have come a long ways. Let me just give you some perspective. Okay, I was hired on at Domino's on July 4th. My first day was literally 2 days later, July 6th. Okay, so from July 6th to today, okay, you got 7, 14, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay, so within 25 days, I have put $1,403 towards my debt. Most of that came from tips. Some of that came from my paycheck. Some of that came from other sources. But within 25 days, I was able to put 1403 towards my debt. I started out with being $2,300 in debt, and now, by the grace of God, I am down to $897 left to go. Um, and I'm hoping that by Friday I might and can be able to put down another $480, which then would only bring me down to $417 left to go by Friday. So with that said, that is going to be pretty much going to take up another whole check, about, depending on how hours go and all that stuff. So if things continue to pan out as they are, and if things continue to progress as they are, then Lord willing, 2 weeks from Friday, which will be the 18th, I should be able to have my debt completely paid in full. Lord willing. Okay? So that's just to kind of give you a picture of that. I've done some calculations and stuff like that, and I'm not going to really get into that tonight. But the main goal is I am projecting that by the 18th I should have my, Lord willing, I should have my debt paid off completely. And if that's going to be the case, then that will actually fulfill part of that plan that I had. So that's that. But in those lines, I need to sort of talk to you all a little bit tonight. As some of you know, lately I've been very discouraged. And rightfully so. I've been very, very, very discouraged. As I like to have my debt completely paid off and paid down and paid off, I've been going through some difficult times. I've been going through some difficult challenges emotionally and mentally. When I got hired, during my interview, when I got hired, at Domino's, I told the person who interviewed me that I wanted to have Wednesdays and Sundays off. Okay? And It was like that for the first couple weeks. For the first week that I was there, which was only just comprised of 3 days, and that following week, I did have Wednesdays, and I did have Wednesday and Sunday off. Well, after that, I started having Wednesdays off, and I had to. I started seeing that I had to work on Sundays. I was scheduled on Sundays, and my attitude towards that was okay. Well, it is what it is. Hopefully it'll be just this one week, and if I got to work on a Sunday or two, just to help pay down debt, then so be it. Well, that just happened to not just be a Sunday, but I also had to work yesterday. I had to close. Um, so I started getting a little irritated, and even seeing the schedule this week. I was a little irritated at first because of the hours, but I've realized that actually every driver that I've seen had low hours, so I wasn't the only one with low hours. So I'm like, okay. But what really bothered me was not either I didn't just get scheduled on Sunday, but now I got scheduled on Wednesday. And when I interviewed for the job, I was told that me getting Wednesdays and Sundays off probably wouldn't be an issue. However, that was a promise that should not have been made. Because the reality is that's not the reality. I'm having to work this Wednesday and I'm having to work on Sunday. Mm-hmm. That in itself caused discouragement. Okay? Um, so last night I went and spoke to my boss I actually did it in the form of putting in a kind of an updated um, availability to where I could have Wednesdays and Sundays off. And that conversation didn't start off very well, but it ended kind of on a better note. And so essentially, I will not be able to have Wednesdays off. All because of scheduling and to make it easier for scheduling. And so, how my boss schedules is that he'll schedule days off in pairs. And really, the only kind of two pairs that he'll, you know, that he'll do is Wednesday and Thursday and Monday and Tuesday. And the way he explained it made sense. But I will not be able to have Wednesdays off. However, he said that he can work around with me being able to go to church on Wednesdays, to where I can go to church, and then afterwards I can go in at around 8 o'clock and then close from 8 to close. Like, that's I can live with that. It's better than nothing. Now, my boss also said too that Sundays he thinks probably won't be an issue either, so he could probably grant me Sundays off too. And so I don't know what to believe right now. I don't know what to expect right now, because at first I was told that I would be able to have Wednesdays and Sundays off. Now I'm being told that I can't have Wednesdays off, but they're willing to work around church, but they'll honor Sundays off. Okay. And here's why this caused a lot of discouragement. This is where it has caused a lot of issues. Yesterday, I could have had the opportunity to, how can I say this? I want to try to say this to where I'm not coming off as being I don't know, I can't think of the word for it, but yesterday I had the opportunity to be able to, to be able to preach. And unfortunately, I could not, because of the fact that I was scheduled to work. Now you might ask yourself, you might be saying, well, Brandon, what's the problem? You're trying to pay off debt. That really should be your main focus. Why are you so worried about helping out in that way? Why are you, making a big deal about it? Well, here's why I'm making a kind of a big deal. I'm making a big deal because Domino's told me one thing when I was expecting that. I was expecting to have my Wednesdays and Sundays off. But I did not get that. So when you're told one thing, but yet reality completely turns around and doesn't set in, well, that's gonna be cause for discouragement. I had my heart set on having Wednesdays and Sundays off. But that didn't happen. Quite the opposite, really. And so, because I couldn't get Sundays off, because I never did get that taken, well, before last night, when I was working on Sundays, okay, that got in the way. Me working on Sundays, number one, put me in a position of having to work 7 days a week. Which, I don't mind hard work. Okay, I don't. So if y'all want to say I'm a slacker, okay, you're making a terrible assumption. Okay? But that didn't just put me in a position of having to work 7 days a week with no day off. Literally 7 days a week with no day off. Okay? But also having to work Sunday evening has really hindered my ability to be able to help out at my church and be able to, be a blessing to them. And not just that, but it also took away from being able to go and just even go to Sunday evening service. I like going to Sunday evening service. I don't like missing that. I don't like missing Wednesday service. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to miss Wednesday night service and Sunday evening service. And it still bothers me to this day. I mean, it still bothers me now. And it's still a discouragement for me that I've got to work instead of go to church. I mean, just for a second, just set aside, preaching and teach, set all that aside. Okay, just set all that aside. But the fact that I can't even go to service this Wednesday night or Sunday evening because of work, okay, it's a little irritating. It is. It's a little irritating. And it's not just irritating, but it's extremely discouraging. Because as of right now, I'm only sitting, the only time I'm able to make it to church this week is Sunday morning. That's it. And it's extremely discouraging when you've got someone that you're interviewing for saying one thing and then you get a completely opposite thing. Now, I understand I've got debt to pay. And I want this thing done as quickly as possible, which, praise God, God has been providing. God has been taking care of me. And, He's been bringing in what I need to get this thing paid off. It's not paid off yet. But last night I had to talk to my boss about essentially getting Sundays and Wednesdays off, and he's not going to grant me Wednesdays off. That's a bummer. Okay, because I like to go to church Wednesday nights. But now when he said he can work around that, I was a little bit more pleased. Because he's willing and able to work around it. So, anyways, this is why I've been very and largely discouraged. It is because of the promise, because of what they said they were going to do, and completely just didn't do it. Because for the sake of having to make scheduling easier. And I can understand that, but they should not have misled me in the way they did. Okay? They shouldn't have done it. They shouldn't have promised to give me Wednesdays and Sundays off when that wasn't going to be the case. I don't hate those. I don't hate anybody at Domino's. Okay, just let me be clear. I don't hate anybody. Okay? But it's been very excruciatingly, painfully discouraging. And so I'm doing all that well right now. I'm still discouraged. Sometimes I really even wonder who I am anymore. And there are times I wish I didn't have this stupid debt. I've had times where I just felt like giving up everything. Giving up these videos, giving up the whole ministry, just giving up everything. Because of the fact of this debt. So, you're all wondering why I'm so not very closely right now. It's because of the discouragement. It's because of all this stuff. It's hitting me hard. It's hitting me hard. But anyways, I wanted to come on here to give you an update. I wanted to come on here to tell you what's been going on in my life, because I'm sure a lot of you are probably wondering what's been going on, what's going on with me, why am I so discouraged and all that stuff. Well, I just everything I've said is is to show you, you know, um, the things that I'm having to go through right now. So, but anyways, I would greatly appreciate your prayers. I really would. Because I need them. I need your prayers. Sometimes I don't even know who I am anymore. I'm not. I'm trying to be real with you. So, anyways, that's all I've got. Um, but I thought you should all know what's been eating at me, what's been discouraging me, but also giving you an update of where I'm at with my dad. Okay. Um, so, but listen, I love you guys. God bless you, and we'll see. I'll see you when I see you. All right. God bless you guys.